Baking isn't for everyone, and that's true, but I might have a solution for you that it's not quite baking, but you'll get the same effect without it settling into your fine lines, your wrinkles. You're still gonna look smooth, you're gonna look balanced, you're gonna look brightened, and it's actually really, really easy and not as messy. And that is why I have zero concealer on the eyeball right now. So let's start. What do you need? You need a powder. I don't care if it's a pressed powder, I don't care if it's a loose powder. I quite literally have both. So we'll go ahead and use both here. My under eyes will look different at the end, but I want you guys to kind of like see the effects of a loose and a pressed powder. You're also going to need a powder puff, one that is brand new and clean, preferably. That way you don't have any buildup on your product and you can actually see first impressions, the outcome of these steps that you'll be taking today. And then you need a brush, something small but fluffy, not something that's really like, something like this is gonna pack on a lot of product. You don't want that. You want something that is going to apply a light amount of powder. So we're gonna go with this. This is the Nikki LaRose N14. Anything similar to this would be great. And then you need your concealer. In order for your concealer to look graceful under the eye, you don't wanna go too bright. If you want some extra brightening, feel free to go 1 to 2 shades lighter with your concealer. A liquid or a potted cream would work as well, so you're good there. Doesn't matter what your formula is. And you do not wanna go too dark with your concealer. So either your complexion, like a true skin match, or 1 shade lighter. The concealer I am gonna use is the KVD. I think this is their Good Apple. What is it called? It's not the Good Apple. It is their lightweight full coverage concealer, medium 129. Don't over apply. I'm gonna do a bit here like that, and then I'll just bring it over. That's it. I'm not even dipping right back in. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, and then I'll bring it over. This one here in particular it's really full coverage. So a little bit is gonna go a very long way. You're gonna get beautiful coverage without it looking too heavy. If you over apply your concealer, it's gonna automatically crease. I don't care how much you bake. If anything, if you bake, it's gonna look crepey and dry and it's gonna look ugly. Applying extra product to try to make it look good is only going to do the opposite and make it look really bad. We're gonna let the concealer sit for about 30 to 60 seconds. In the meantime, let me explain something to you. When you go to blend it out, use your tool of choice. However, if you use a sponge, it will lift the excess oils, leaving more pigment behind. It's gonna give you a really nice airbrushed blend. It's just gonna look super pretty and seamless underneath. I personally prefer a sponge for the under eye. Like, that's my go-to. If you use a brush, make sure you really push the product in. So you wanna use a brush to press it in and blend as you go. A lot of people do that and then go in with the sponge. You don't want any excess oils under the eye. That's gonna cause the concealer or whatever product you have under the eye. If you're gonna apply anything under the eye prior to your concealer, you do want to apply an under eye cream or something like that as part of your skin prep. Let it sit for a little bit so it'll dry down and set. You do not wanna apply foundation all the way down under your eye. That's just gonna add even more product and excess oils for your concealer to crease, and that's a no-no. I'm gonna take my sponge with this little pointy area, and I'm gonna push it in, blending up and down. That's gonna give me that V effect that I like under the eye. You don't have to do the V effect. It's just what I personally like. I also like to push it in to this inner corner here because it helps brighten that area. My lights are what they are. So sometimes you'll see that it looks like there's a bit of a shadow, and the reality is it's just the shadow of my nose and the lights and stuff like that. You see how it looks like there's a shadow? You want it to be super balanced and blend it out. So I use the sponge on this side and it looks really pretty already, like effortless, right? I'm gonna use a brush on the other side so you can kind of see the difference. The point of letting it sit under the eye a little bit is so it'll start drying down and setting into your skin. It blends well and it allows a lot of the pigment to stay exactly where you applied it, so it'll look nice and like bright. You don't have to do that, but technically when you go in with a brush or a sponge and it's really, really wet, you're lifting most of that product. I'm pressing and I am blending. This is the difference. We have the sponge on this side and a brush on the other. Major key is you wanna make sure you do this. I know it looks ridiculous. You don't see me do this on camera all the time. Sometimes you do, but you wanna do this and you wanna get in that inner corner right before you go into powder, because sometimes your concealer will settle into those fine lines when you don't want it to, and it's not cute. And then something else you don't see me do on camera, I'm gonna use Ultra Peach by One Size, and I'm gonna apply that on this side. To set, I'm gonna use the brush. I'm really gonna dust product onto it like this. Kind of go like that. To set, I wanna go like this because you're stretching out those fine lines. And I'm just gonna press the powder on. Do you need this brush for this step? No, but you do need a powder. It could be a loose powder, it could be a pressed powder. I'll show you the next side. All you wanna do is set that concealer. Any oils that are there, you wanna lightly set it with just the smallest amount of powder. If you apply too much powder, it might get crepey and dry looking really, really fast. It's almost like shocking the oils with the powder and it just clumps up. That's this side. Now we're gonna use the pressed powder. This is the MCO Beauty Invisible Matte, which I absolutely love. They are two different tones. One is a peachy one, the other one is a vanilla, translucent. Just bear with me. Similarly, I'm gonna use a domed fluffy brush. It's not too packed, it's not too like tight. It is the 108 by BK Beauty. I'm going to roll my brush into it, and I just wanna give you guys options. You don't have to do loose because I do loose, you can do pressed. I'm just showing you it works and how it works with your product, whatever you have at home, it's gonna work. Look at what I'm saying. You see those fine lines right there? It started creasing already, which is why we need to set the concealer. And you also need to make sure you blend that out prior to applying that powder. If not, you're gonna set it and it's gonna look like that. And then it's gonna look like a mini little line dumpling under your eye. Back to the brush. I'm just going and blend that out real quick. This brush is ready to go. And now that we're nice and smooth, same thing. Always set that inner corner first because it almost seems like that's the part that tends to crease faster because of this like little wedge there. And then whatever's left on the brush, set the rest of the eyeball. Again, we're setting it so it won't start creasing. Blend. Wow, we're bright, girl. And I applied bronzer on my nose. I don't know why I did that, but I did. We'll balance it out. That's a non-issue. The final look won't look like that. I'm just showing you my tips and tricks to like a smooth, bright, and blurred under eye. So now that our under eye pretty much is perfection and it's smooth, if you don't want to bake after that and you think that it's like balanced and brightened enough and you like are confident with it, then you're good, leave it alone. But let's just say you're like, no, I want more brightness. That's okay too. So that's where these babies are gonna come into play. And I got two different ones because they're two different formulas. I want you guys to see the effect of each of them. So I'll take the one size. I will grab a powder puff, press it in. And this is technically for the extra brightening effect if you feel like you need it. You don't have to take this step every single time. At least I don't. But it definitely gives you that like balanced smoothness, gradient, beautifulness under the eye. I would grab the product and no, I would not rub on the back of my hand. I would go in and press it under the eye so that in the event that there is even the smallest amount of oil under the eyeball, it's going to be set no matter what. We're gonna press her. We're gonna leave her. I know, again, we're not done. We're gonna move on to the other side of the eyeball. Now this is gonna be dramatic, but this powder, this brand new powder puff, this powder is bonkers, okay? I'm also not gonna do one of these. I will go in and press under, you see how crazy that is? Press under the eye. In a sense, we are baking without it being so messy to where we have like powder everywhere. I'm gonna leave it alone and I'm gonna move on with the rest of my face. So I am gonna get off camera. I'm going to blend out this cream bronzer. I am going to apply a blush, a little bit of a highlight while this is setting. When I come back, the face is gonna be pretty much like balanced, and then I'll show you the last step. We're balanced, it's looking pretty nice. However, I know you're wondering, wait a minute, all that powder is gonna stay down there? What if it starts to look crepey and dry? Well, you're not gonna leave that powder there. First of all, let me just say the way that I made this all blend was I used my BK Beauty, the dual-sided, the multi-functional brush, the N17 that I just checked yesterday, and that damn thing is sold out. It's so freaking good. So I used the dark side to blend my blush into the cheeks, and I ended up using 3 shades out of, it's a Pro Blush Palette by Ofra. So I blended this one, this one, and this one, all 3 together. On the cheeks, I went in with that dark side and feathered the blush, whatever's left on the brush, everywhere to make sure that we're blending out and fusing the under eye along with the cheeks. So we've already removed whatever powder we pressed onto the skin that was excess. We've already removed that with this brush. Then I flipped her over and I used this side to apply and blend my highlight, which is gonna be the Say highlight. How pretty she is. So now this is looking blended, graceful, really pretty. We do still have product in this area here. You don't want to let it sit. It could look dry, it could look crepey. So you want to use a fluffy brush, nice and like fluffy one. I'm gonna go with the Nikki LaRose one, the N14, but you could also do, oh my God, she was right here, the 108 by BK Beauty. I've been using it for at least a year and a half. You want to make sure you're removing excess powder from the brush because you're not adding powder, you're removing powder, and then you're going to lightly, see how I'm holding it from out here, blend out and dust away. So you're not gonna create another division, you're just dusting it away. Both under eyes look different for sure. One is more bright than the other because I used two different powders, but I wanted to show you guys the difference. And now my under eyes are balanced, they're brightened, they're smooth, they look airbrushed, and they're not gonna crease. Now, I know it's looking a little lifeless, so I'm gonna use this mascara for the first time. It is by City Beauty, their City Lips. City Lips, it's City Beauty. I'm gonna use their mascara for the first time. It's called their Beyond Mascara. We'll see. I just wanna apply a little bit to bring some life, but yeah, your under eyes are done. I really hope you found value in today's video. I hope you get a chance to try these tips, these tricks, and see whether or not it works for you. I'm hoping they do. It's literally worked for everyone that I've done their makeup on, and it looks amazing regardless of their age. I mean, there's nothing like a beautiful under eye to complement your eyeshadow look, you know what I mean? So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please make sure you leave me a comment, give me your feedback below. And if you do end up trying it, please come back and let us know how it worked out for you. You know, we can't go anywhere without saying hello and thank you to our channel members, the G Squad. This amazing group of people have joined channel memberships and are supporting the channel at a higher level, unlocking exclusive perks like a private community page, additional giveaways, YouTube providing them with a badge, and highlighting all of their comments under my videos. So if you're ever interested in joining channel memberships, all you need to do is hit the join button below and you are good to go. There you guys. The video is over, but you don't have to go anywhere. I have way more beauty content I think you're gonna enjoy, so I'll recommend one here, and YouTube is gonna go ahead and recommend your next video based on your watch history here. So I hope you consider checking those out, and I'll see you guys on the next video.